in your opinion, right, do you think this could like ruin Rocket League in any way?
I think it 100% could ruin Rocket League.
One of the greatest things about Rocket League is how consistent the game is. Sure, you can choose any car you want with slightly different hitboxes or use different presets for the aesthetic, but for the most part, everyone is on an equal playing field. At least, that's what we all thought. For the past week or so, several people have gone to Reddit and Twitter to post about finding actual bots in their ranked games. And no, I'm not talking about the official Rocket League bots that you could probably beat in your sleep. I'm talking about bots that people outside of Psyonix have programmed to play at a champion, grand champion, and even SSL level. Most notably, one of the greatest Rocket League players of all time, GarrettG, posted about finding a potential bot in his game while playing rank 2s. Considering this had happened at the highest rank possible in Rocket League, many people were very concerned seeing this. I ended up asking Garrett if he could send me the replay, and kindly enough, within minutes he sent it over to me. And well, I gotta say, it was pretty crazy watching this replay. From the get-go, there were two main ways that you could tell this player in Garrett's game was actually a bot. The first was looking at its movements and playstyle. The player would often move in a weird and janky, non-human-like way, and their dribble and flick-heavy playstyle was quite odd. The second way I found out this player was definitely a bot was by, well, asking the source directly. I got to interview the exact guy that used a bot in Garrett's game, and let's just say, you guys definitely want to hear everything he had to say. Yo, how you doing, man?
Pretty good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for hopping on here.
Of course, bro.
So yeah, I mean, first thing I kind of just wanted to ask, like what exactly like is going on in the scene? Like, what are these bots? Like, how did this all start? Like, do you know stuff about this?
So I mean, the bots, they're just they're just, lines of code pretty much. There's no better way to put that. And me and my friends created them. I wasn't really involved in like the coding aspect. I'm
Mm-hmm.
more of just like playing it and promoting it and stuff like that. But I got some good coders involved, and they kind of made me like a AI. So
Hmm.
it was just an idea that one of them had one day, and we decided to make it possible. It took like a year and a half to make, though.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, we've been working on it for a while. But it's advanced to a level that's can get to supersonic legend and all.
Hmm. Okay. So you said it took like a year and a half to make, right? Like, how? Like, what was
Yeah,
that
about
process
that.
like? Did the bot have to like learn? Like, what had that happen?
Yeah, so we just had to make a lot of trial runs. It took hundreds of attempts really to get like the right file and perfect it so that it could actually play like a more or less like a human. It still plays like a robot, but it can
Mm-hmm.
play Rocket League and with other players and all.
Hmm.
It took a while to get to perfect that and all, and like implement it into your game.
Obviously, you said like you're doing this with your friends, right? But like, are there other people using bots as well in ranked, or is it just you guys? You think?
There's definitely other people. We have whatchamacallit, we've like promoted and distributed the bot to people we know, and certain kind of people. It's kind of like an invite only thing right now. But I'm sure there's other people that have their own version of the bot and all that. But I don't think theirs is nearly as good enough because there's definitely a lot of bots out there. I'm not doubting that, but
Mm-hmm.
I do think ours is probably the best.
Hmm. Okay, okay. And if you don't mind me asking, like, how does it work essentially? Like, do you have to load the bot from like a different thing and then it gets into Rocket League? Like, how does that work?
So yeah, it pretty much works exactly like Bacchus mod does. If you ever pay attention to the Bacchus mod screen when you're loading it up, it'll say like, waiting for Rocket League to start, and it'll say like injecting DLL. Our launcher pretty much does the same thing. It just injects a DLL file into the Rocket League client with some other applications running in the background. And then once you're in, it's just a toggleable key, and everything else runs in the background, and it fully plays for you.
So like that bot that was in Garrett's game, for example, that was you, right?
Yeah, that was me playing, but it was yeah, it was my bot.
Okay, so like did that get to SSL by itself, or like did you do that, or like how'd that happen?
I got the GC1 by myself,
Hmm.
and then I let it play from there on, and then it did, yeah.
Okay. And so like so you played Garrett obviously in that game, like have you played against other pros? Have you beaten anyone like big names and stuff?
I played Chicago last night, and I played Atomic and Guz.
Hmm.
I didn't beat any of them, but it was a pretty close game. I mean, it's
Yeah.
even with the robot, it's hard to beat, crazy pros like that.
And so like obviously the playstyle with the bot, it's kind of like it kind of dribbles a lot. It does a lot of flicks, stuff like that. Why do you think it does that? Like why doesn't it aerial that much and like things like that? Why does it like focus more on flicks and like dribbling?
Yeah, so what I've heard from my team really is that it's a lot easier to implement like ground mechanics than air mechanics, just because like the physics in the game are a lot simpler on the ground. So dribbling is really easy. You could lock it down with coordinates, and aerialing is much harder. So that's gonna be worked on soon, but it really isn't that good at going for aerials unless it like desperately needs to, then it will.
Hmm.
But yeah, for now it mainly just flicks on the ground because that's just like the easiest mechanic to code pretty much. So that's why we have that first. But when we start expanding it more and more, we can definitely get it. Maybe doing some resets or something like that.
Yeah, and so do you think this bot could ever reach like number one on the leaderboards? Like I know you played against pros and stuff. Do you think it could get like essentially can it be the best like entity in Rocket League better than anyone else?
I think eventually, if we get enough time, I think we can get to that level. I know one person that is using the bot exclusively is number one in hoops right now.
Oh really?
So that was definitely a milestone for us. And he because he just grinded that. He didn't do any twos or anything. He just kept playing hoops, and he got to number one. So that was definitely a milestone for us. It showed us how our bot performs in that.
And so like in your opinion, right? Do you think this could like ruin Rocket League in any way?
I think it 100% could ruin Rocket League. And I'm obviously using the bot, and it's fun for me, but I kind of feel bad playing against people, ruining their games a little bit. I'm mainly just trying to promote it. Um, Obviously, what I'm doing is wrong, and I know that, but I do think it is kind of ruining Rocket League, yeah. But I think Psyonix will get a fix on it somewhat soon, and it's gonna be a temporary, short-lived thing. And if it's not, that works too, and I'm sure people will find a way around it. I don't think it's here to stay.
Mm-hmm. And so like, are you guys making any money off this? If I can ask that, if you're okay with that, like, are you guys like distributing this like for money and stuff?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we are. We are just barely, not really. It's mainly like invite only, and when we invite them, we just we don't sell it. We just give it for free.
Mm-hmm.
But I have sold it to a couple people that like really wanted it. It's only been like 3 people though. I'm not like planning on mass selling it or anything like that.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, and if you don't mind me asking, like, how much would like if you sold it to one person, how much would that be?
I sold it to those guys, 3 people, I think, 2 or 3 people, for $50.
Okay, are you worried about like getting banned or anything, like Psyonix figuring you guys out and stuff?
No, because I mean the account in that I was using in Garrett's video. I mean, I've never played on my main account in anything on any social media, so those are all just alt accounts. They have nothing on them. I don't care about them. So not really. I mean, I definitely know I could get banned, but even if I do, doesn't matter. I already have like 4 accounts in the top 100 right now, and that was just one of them. So I don't really care about it too much. I'll never use this on my main account for any risk like that or anything. And it's under a completely different name and everything like that.
Okay, and then I guess like lastly, like how do you feel about like the community reaction to this? Like everyone like talking about it. Like obviously Garrett posted it. I saw Fairy Peak posted a tweet about it. Like a lot of people are posting about this. Like how do you feel about that?
Yeah, honestly, I thought it was pretty funny because I think people are overreacting. I mean, 99% of those people have not played this bot in ranked and probably won't because the group of people that have it is so small. Like even the people that have their own bot, it's the total people that have it in Rocket League, I think is like under 100. You know, out of the giant player base, that's practically nothing. So I feel like people are kind of overreacting. I mean, the only people who are gonna play this bot are pros, and yeah, at that they're still gonna win. You know, so I feel like, you know, it's not that big of a deal.
Ultimately, I would be lying if I said I wasn't worried for the future of Rocket League. I do hope and think that Psyonix will find a fix to these bots in ranks soon, but for the meantime, if you do happen to play against one of these bots, all I can say is, good luck.